There's one that helps you in business or makes you wealthy or
Mhm.
helps you in getting wealth. One is that keeps you fit, whether it can be yoga or it can be any strength training or anything, or dance or just a run, other hobby. And the
Mhm.
third hobby is actual one. The actual saying is that makes you creative. But what Naval says, and I don't know, he says the one that makes you smart. I don't know what he
I
meant
see.
by that. But I like the creative thing more. So I like the creative thing more.
Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of the podcast, Stories for Another Day. Today we have with us Mr. Ritwik. Guys, that's Ritwiz. Today we have with us Ritwik Sinha. I met Ritwik about 2 years back in Electronic City cult.fit, where he works as a trainer. Ritwik is hands down one of the best trainers I've ever worked out with. What's special about Ritwik is that he has a background in software engineering. On a normal day, Ritwik, after taking 4 to 5 1-hour sessions at cult.fit, goes on to do freelancing where he does UI designing. Let's hear this incredible story from Ritwik Sinha. So when you finished, when you were at Accenture, how did you find Cult, and what was that transition over there? How did you become a full time at Cult?
So that's what. So Arish, when I was in Accenture, right? So about Cult, how I discovered Cult was because I was also a member, just like you. Okay, but
Okay.
this was in the initial days of Cult when Cult hadn't become such a big bomb in India. So back then there were only very few centers, and the training was completely different. There was no app, first of all, the CureFit app where we can book classes and all of that. We just used to go and we used to work out. So that's how I got to know about Cult. That's how I got to know about those initial trainers and okay, such kind of different workout setup. So I was into sports background, but I was never into gymming and all. I knew about functional movements, I knew about functional fitness and all of that, but nothing more okay about bodybuilding and all of that. I didn't know. So yeah, that's how I discovered Cult. I was a member over there, and then I worked out over there for 6 months because of that super training. It was pretty economical also, and was right next to my house. The trainers were awesome, so I started liking Cult. I started preaching also so many people that join Cult, and all that stuff. And then, of course, at one point of time, it became such a big bomb that you didn't need any advertisement from anybody. No, word of mouth is not
Right, right,
required.
right.
You just go to any locality, you will find one or two cults. Yeah, so that's how I discovered Cult, and I was still working in Accenture. Okay, so I haven't worked in Accenture for very long. Right after my college, there was, of course, my first full-time job. So I worked there for 2 years. But somewhere towards the end of first year, I was like, no, this is not my thing. One major reason was the work that I'm doing. I'm not even seeing any result out of it. Okay, it's not about creating a software. It's not about anything. Like even if you give me a sales job and if I can convert it, I can see my result. Okay, that's the client that I've brought into the business. But I don't see anything over here. I'm doing something. I'm preparing some writing, changing, making some development, some enhancement projects and all. But I mean, it's such a big system. It's such a big company and all of that. I don't know where I'm just getting lost over here. And and always had that interest about fitness, and I was just too deep into fitness back then, especially the interest was too much. So what I thought, okay, fine, let's get into let's leave this. Right now, time is there. I still haven't lost a lot of time in when it comes to career building, when it comes to taking a path. So I just thought, and I bought some time with my parents. So of course, it's a very, I'm also just like most of us, a very conventional background. So
Right.
yeah, telling parents also that I want to leave software engineering job and join Cult as a trainer, it's a big deal. So that's when the MBA thing and all came up. So I was like, I'm done with 2 years. I have a very all right profile. Let me try out something new. Let me follow my passion, because maybe, yeah, when it comes to passion, fitness was the only thing that I could think of as my passion. Design and all of that stuff hadn't come back then. Let me follow that, my passion. Let me follow my passion, and give me some time. I can write the exam and keep. I'll write my GMAT. I'll write GRE, whatever the exam is needed. Give me some time. Let me work over here. It'll add something extra to my profile. I'll do something if the money's all right. Okay, I don't care about that. I'll work towards my passion. I'll meet some new people. Let me do this. And I wrote GMAT also for them. I wrote GMAT for also my parents that okay, my score is also ready. After 2-3 years, I'll if
Hmm.
nothing works out, then I'll follow the conventional part. I'll go to a MBA. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so
Hmm.
yeah. So right after that, so towards the end of Accenture and all, before I'd made the decision that I'm gonna join Cult, I made the decision that let's get into fitness.
Hmm.
Okay, to get into fitness, I didn't really think of being a coach. That wasn't there in my mind. Being a trainer, I was thinking more on making a fitness product, like a fitness app or something like that.
Oh, I see.
Let's
Okay.
let's let's gather a team. Let's get people around and let's make a product. Let's make a startup. Let's see how it goes. I actually spoken to a few friends also about it, and they liked a particular idea that I was thinking about. That was basically setting up home gyms, garage gyms, and I was thinking if I actually
Hmm.
very recently I was thinking if I actually taken up that idea seriously, in 1.5 years that thing would have actually given some fruits. And right now this COVID time, especially when people need home gyms,
Yeah.
that would have been a
Right.
pretty sustainable business. Yeah, but then since
Mm-hmm.
I was such a noob in fitness industry, I didn't know what to do. Okay, so I thought, okay, let's learn a little bit from Cult. There is no harm. It's the biggest thing in India when it comes to fitness. It's the work culture is
Right.
really nice. I've worked out over there. I know people. I know coaches over there. I know lead coaches, the managers, even the developers, like the backend team, operations team, everyone. I know. Okay, how things are working over
Mm-hmm.
there. Let's join that. And that time the cult, so when I left Accenture and this thing, the cult was still at like 50th center or something like that. So it was still a fairly new company. Okay, let's join this company and
Mm-hmm.
let's see, let's explore. So that's when I made the transition from a software background into fitness background and became a trainer. And then the training thing
So,
went on and on. I
mhm.
met a lot of people. Yep. Yeah, Adesh, tell me.
So yeah, I was just saying that like I think I'm super curious. Like, how was the interview process for becoming a trainer? What actually how do you become a trainer? Like that's a
Exactly.
very
So the coolest part about Cult is like they don't do some extra gimmick and all. They have such a
Mhm.
solid system, in-house system, no, that just if you're interested in. So I actually went to the interview thinking that I'm gonna get rejected because I don't have any certification. I just have sports background. I have my certificates. I can tell that. So there was a cult competition also back in 2018 Jan, where
Mhm.
all the members from Cult, then this was their promotional time, and they used to promote Cult a lot. This is when they got Ritwik Roshan just on board. Okay, so they got all
Mhm.
these people, everyone. So they got one. They kept one prize, one competition, and fitness competition, and the prize was okay. The winner gets to meet Ritwik Roshan and all of that. So it was all over India, that competition, and whoever the winner was supposed to. So I had won that competition.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay,
yeah, I won the competition and met
that's why
Ritwik
the
Roshan.
photo
Yeah.
is Hrithik Roshan on your profile.
Yeah, that's that. Back then, I
That's
used to
super
be a
cool.
Ritwik Roshan fan. Yeah, 2018. So that's all, bro. Damn funny all those days were. So I've thought I've gone over there and I was ready to tell them that sir, I have work experience, but of course not into fintech industry. I have sports experience. I have these certificates. I have knowledge about athletes because I've been one. So I have knowledge about how athletic training, how
Mhm.
functional movements work, how body weight movements work, a little bit about nutrition and all I'd learned. Though no, there was no solid certification. And to my surprise, that everything was completely fine because
Oh, nice. Okay.
what their process is, anybody with interest and who knows the movement and who has
Mhm.
interest, who has sports background, who has a fit body, can become a cult trainer. So once you get into cult, they have a in-house training academy.
Okay.
They have a cult training academy, and then you have to go through just like any. If you join a software company to
Mhm.
as straight as a fresher, so they're gonna train you in Java and all that SQL and all the basic things that you need in your portfolio, right? As a software engineer, same way, in 2 months you have to go
Mhm.
through a rigorous training procedure, and then they're gonna certify you. So their in-house certification is also accredited by some major brands like ACE and AFAA and uh, CPT training, of course, and few other
Mhm.
the major
Where was
certifications. Okay,
this training?
this training was in this training I used to actually do it while I was in Accenture. So
Oh.
so my last 2 months of Accenture, since I had very supportive team and I told them about this entire process, so they never complained to my bosses and team leads. They used to take care of the job. In between 4 to 5 hours, I used to go off. After logging in, and I put my papers. I used to go and I used to go to Cult Training Academy, and I used to get trained to become a cult trainer. And then as soon as the training got over, my notice period also got over, and I joined Cult as a trainer.
That's perfect. Like you timed it really well.
Yeah, something happened. I timed, and just before that, I had given my GMAT exam also, just to keep everyone at home also very peaceful, because my mom was completely against. My dad was like, my dad was dad had actually got retired back then, so he was like, okay, fine, do whatever you want. But my mom was little apprehensive because one of my sisters are doing MBA in Manchester. Other sisters are doctor in US. So, and I've also been academically okay throughout my life. So they were really apprehensive about all this training and fitness and what do you want to do. Even if you want to do, you do a business. It's a big move, yeah. But then slowly they also understood. They saw that I was traveling so far. Now I feel that that was a lot of time that was taken up. I could have done so much more by traveling. So initially I used to travel a lot. I used to stay in Electronic City, but I used to travel. So whenever you join Cult, you don't get anything what you want. So even though there is an Electronic City Cult, they're not gonna give you. For the first 3-4 months, they're gonna test you if this guy actually wants it or not. So I was spoken. Oh yeah. So I used to travel every day from Electronic City to Koramangala and train over there 5 hours, 6 hours.
Oh, that's a horrible commute.
Yeah, bro, that was too horrible. That time, and I'd left Accenture back then, which was again Koramangala and Electronic City, and I used to think, okay, fine, I'll join Electronic City Cult only. I won't have to travel. But see, means I'm still traveling so much. So I used to think, where am I stuck? The traveling in Bangalore is very horrible, right? So yeah.
Yeah. And you turned out to be like hands down my favorite cult trainer that I've worked out with. I used to come with my roommate Anuj. You guys used to call him Iron Man. And I remember like after your sessions, we both of us worked at the same office. And like after the leg day, climbing down the stairs used to be like so horrible. Like both of us just look at each other like, what are we doing? Like and I remember like the period when you were teaching, I think both of us had a streak of 45 days. So that's the longest ever. Like I have a screenshot of it in my phone. Like,
and these were the evening sessions, right? And these were the evening sessions, right?
Yeah. Like, right.
The evening session,
and
7 o'clock.
we had Ashok in the morning. We had Ashok sir in the morning, and you and Ismail sir in the evening. So it used to be so much fun, and like I think that's when I like both of us were in the best shape of our life, and then probably we just went downhill after that after we left Cult. But yeah,
it's okay.
I think you are one of the best. I was just saying that you are one of the best communicators I've met at a gym, and I think that's one of your biggest strengths that I feel that you had that separated you from other people at that time.
Thank you, Adesh, for saying that. Very kind of you. But I mean that's again when it comes to strength and conditioning. It's mainly how you impart the knowledge that whatever you have gained, you just need to communicate properly, right? And especially when you're training 30 people at once, you need to practice it to be spot on, so that you just take all the 30 people and keep them in sync, and at the same time focus on whoever's doing wrong, whoever's new, whoever's been regular, who has been regular, you need to scale up. Whoever's just joined, you need to scale down. So there was a lot of practice that went into it. So obviously anywhere other than Bangalore, any schools, even though English medium, even international schools, people will talk in Hindi only, right? But there's that speciality about Bangalore schools, and especially if you study in ICSE, CBSE schools, typically everyone is going to talk in English only.
Right.
That communication thing, it automatically becomes. Yeah, bro, nice. Those days were intense. Those were days where I think I just joined Electronic City from Koramangala. I was also in full power. Let's see. New crowd, new challenge.
It is a respite. Yeah, it's amazing. So I've always been curious about this. Like the schedule is really rigid, right? And you do a lot of similar exercises for a long time. So does it get repetitive? How do you like? What's your opinion on that?
Schedule as in, no, I didn't get you. Schedule as in.
So the workout and everything that you do at Cult, does it get repetitive week over week? Like does it ever feel that you're doing the same things over extended periods of time?
Absolutely. That's a major challenge, right? That'll be problem for anybody for most of the people. almost everyone, that that repetitiveness is just going to kill your creativity. And there are a lot of protocols that you have to follow when you're working for such a big organization who wants to keep the same quality throughout. Like every cult center in India needs to follow the same protocol, needs to have the same workout, every workout needs to be executed in the same way. Of course, you can have the communication part is on the coach. He can crack jokes, or he can make it a little more intense by adding one extra rep or something like that. But everything else remains same. So yeah, you can't even be creative when it comes to WOD, when it comes to making a WOD, when it comes to pushing somebody or something. But again, that's a one challenge that you have to take it up as a challenge. And even though it becomes repetitive, um, yeah, you need to deliver the best
so
experience.
Yeah. So and you really like talking to people and meeting new people. So that's really achieving your goal.
Absolutely, bro. That was
right?
the only thing keeping me up. No, that'll be the only thing keeping me up. I mean, 5 hours, 4 hours. If you just keep coaching and with the same workout, it can take you down. But then if you meet so many people, that's the plus sign that I don't think you can meet in any other job. So
that's true.
So many people,
totally
meeting them, knowing them. It was damn nice. And plus, everyone, it's like an elite crowd. It's not like just people. I mean, there'll be obviously groups and people who are coming just for socializing. But if you find the right people who can talk substance and all to you, then it's nice. Then you can have a really good time at such fitness centers. So that was nice. That was up my alley.
You used to take like 4 or 5 sessions a day, right?
Yeah.
Then, so does it take a physical toll on your body? Like you have to sneak in your own workout plus do this plus like everything else. How do you handle that?
Absolutely. So from outside, it looks like, okay, a cult trainer or any trainer, it's a 5-hour job. You just have 5 hours of work, though. That's pretty peace, and you're getting paid this much. That's nice. I mean, IT people also, we have 8-9 hours of job. But I've been there in IT people, and the actual job that you do, especially like when things are very bad, maybe you have to extend your time hours, but maybe more than 4-5 hours you don't push, right? Other times you're just chit chatting, or you're just taking a break or stuff like that. Yeah, just logging. But over here, right, 5 hours you have to be on your toes completely. So it does take a lot of toll on your body. So you have to make it. You have to push. You have to push. Otherwise, it's gonna take a toll on your body. I've seen so many people just stopping this training job just because of that. They didn't know that things are gonna become this hard. But that 5 hours is quite long. And so that's what they did. So now they have an option whether you can do split shift. You can do 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening. That can work with somebody who has only one thing. Like you have to focus only on cult. You just have to focus on your on training people or your own training. So that can work. Or somebody who lives close to the center, it can work with them. But for somebody else, like who has other things also, probably has a side hustle, or is doing freelancing, or probably studying for higher studies or something, and at the same time is doing a job at cult or doing such jobs, a 5-hour job. So they wouldn't want a split shift. They would want to come once and finish all of it and then go back home or go back to whatever they have to. Either it can be a morning shift or it can be an evening shift. So since my circumstances were such, I thought that let's take one shift only and let's finish everything in one shift. And that turns out to be a little more hectic, but you have to push. That is something that you have to push. And basically the main hours of work is going to be those peak hours when you guys used to come, when the class will be packed, when there won't be place to walk, when there'll be weights thrown everywhere. So those times and all will be peak hours. Otherwise and all, those 9 o'clock night sessions or 4 o'clock afternoon sessions and all, there'll be barely 5 to 10 people. So that's when we can chill. We just have to just interact, just make sure they're having a good time, just make sure that they're following the WOD, they're doing the correct stuff and all.
Right.
But yeah, those 2-3 hours and all can get really intense. Yep. And at the same time, I forgot to answer the other thing, that you have to push in your own workout also. Because if a trainer doesn't look fit, then people are not.
Right.
That's a very tough job. That's a very tough job. I didn't know it's gonna be this tough.
What time do you work out? You work out really early in the morning, right?
Yeah, I used to do that early in the morning. I used to finish off my workout, or I used to. So luckily I had apartment gym. So even though my timings are not working well with cult, and I can't go use their service, but my shift is over, I can just come back home and push a quick workout in my apartment gym. Or generally, what the actual ritual was, all these trainers, all of us, especially in those early days, like 2019 until
Mm-hmm.
maybe October times, I can tell, when the whole crew was there. So we all will work out together at right after the morning session. So the morning shift gets over at 11 o'clock. After that,
Oh.
11 to 5 is the gym is empty. That's when every trainer, whether it's yoga, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
dance, everyone, whoever's living around, whoever wants to work out, all of us will come up together. The boxing trainers will push the SNC trainers. Everyone will push each other. And then we'll get some, and even managers. We used to push that Suresh and all also. But we got him also
Yeah,
fit in the
that's a really nice culture actually.
yeah, that was a solid culture, the workout culture. And that's there everywhere. Even with the head office of Cult, they have like a setup gym. I'm talking about the ops people and the engineering people and all. So they have also a setup
Mm-hmm.
gym, and whoever wants to work out anytime, they have a proper, like whatever you see in the Cult Electronic City is there in head office. The same one room is there, and whoever wants to work out. So all these heads also, whenever they want to take time off, they can just go, and all of them will sit and work out. So that's fun. It's a lot of fun over there. Work is fun. Yep.
Yeah, it's really inspirational that you are managing to do so many things at the same time. Like you have a UI career, you're learning something on the fly. Plus, you're freelancing and you are training people. So I think it just reduces excuses that other people can give right now. You manage to sneak in your own workout. You give time to sports. I don't know how you manage everything. Like,
I don't know, bro. When until this lockdown, even I didn't think things were going at 90 miles per hour. It was just rushing. Didn't have time, and in between you have to take off those Friday nights and Saturdays and meet all your friends, college friends, and chill also in between. I think we have
and attend podcasts in the middle.
podcast. This is my first time, bro. I don't know. I know, but had to make time for this. This was one experience. I mean, I always wanted to be a part of podcast or host a podcast. Probably after learning more in this field, in this
Mhm.
creative field, someday I can also see like how to host a podcast after hearing so many podcasts and all. It's really nice, bro. I really like podcasts. It's good. So yeah, thank you for the compliment. But yeah, until lockdown, I told you, right, everything was rushing. I mean, I didn't have time. I was in between when it comes to studies, when it comes to training, then it was come yeah. And like after a point of time at Cult, and if you have shown your substance, then they won't keep you. They won't push. They keep you only as a trainer. They'll, and if they think that you can do back end stuff also for them, then the leads or the heads, the cluster heads and all will start pulling you and making you work on some other projects, giving you some light projects and all also on your own, or
Mhm.
you can form a team. like like there was one project just before lockdown that I was working quite intensively on, was for our entire zone. We had to organize a lot of workshops. So the company
Mhm.
needed to generate some amount, some funding, and we thought, okay, let's create workshops, and then we can. I mean, this was for the members apart from their regular subscription. You'll have to pay, but then they'll get some
Okay.
really quality substance. And these workshops were mainly on Olympic weightlifting, like just in class, right? Just in class, 30 people
Oh.
at once. 30 people at once. Like you remember the movement Adesh, cleans or snatch. You remember them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, right,
So
right. Yeah.
so all these movements and all in class, it'll take some time to learn. For a person who's really wants to learn the nuances of weightlifting, it'll take some time for them to learn in a class when 30 people, when the coach can't give them enough
Mhm.
attention. Of course, Cult doesn't have personal training. So we thought of having these workshops, and I got that opportunity to work on that project quite intensively, where we hosting a lot of workshops all around Bangalore. And I mean, I was part of the South Bangalore team. It was on Olympic weightlifting. We
Mhm.
had a handstand workshop. We had mobility workshop. We had some boxing
Oh.
workshop. So was working quite intensively on that. So that's what. So at one after completing maybe a year, and if they think that okay, this guy has more than just providing training, 5 hours of training, then they'll start getting you in the product side also. So they'll start giving
I
that job
see.
also. Yeah, but that was a good learning experience. I learned so many things while doing the workshop, especially about all these complex things.
Mhm.
I'm damn sure I'm
And
going to mention all of
yeah,
these in my essays, my MBA essays.
I think you're going to make a great essay because you have such a unique experience. I think that's something that people look for when they hire for grad school. So I think you're definitely checking the right boxes right now. So I just had I just had a few more questions. So one was, how is Cult handling the change with respect to COVID? Like initially, I know they just extended members days, and then the classes were off for a while, and then they started something called as Cult Live, and you are like a star trainer over there now. So what are the things that are happening with that?
Yeah. So first of all, the team, right? The team behind CureFit, the CureFit team, the engineering team, they are very robust,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and they're very fast. They're very quick. One thing that they hadn't done
Mm-hmm.
all these years was not focusing much on digital projects, and they had something
Mm-hmm.
going on, but at a very minimal level, okay, not much. I mean, there was just like few videos, like workout from home videos and all of that. So they really got the hit as soon as the moment everything was shut. They got the hit probably 1 week, 2 weeks, and all. They didn't think, and then everything was normal. People thought, okay, it's going to come back, but of course that was not. It was bound to extend the timing.
Mm-hmm.
So they immediately started working towards these new products. Okay, then they launched again one plethora of products, like whatever they have offline, everything they converted into online. Okay, so first they started Cult Live, which was their first digital offering. These were pre-recorded videos. You just need to shoot up. You just need to start your app, join these Cult Live classes. Every day is gonna be, for every format. There are gonna be one or two videos, episodes, which is gonna be streaming at a
Mm-hmm.
particular time. Okay, so again, they
Oh,
made
okay.
to get these customers engaged and keep them in the same habit. No, again they made it that same hourly
Mm-hmm.
basis, like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, eight
Oh,
o'clock.
I
There'll be
see.
these sessions and all. You can join. Of course, you can join
Mm-hmm.
anytime. 6:30 also you can join the 6 o'clock session. You can log in. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be missing a lot of it. The mobility. I mean, everything. The class will be going in one flow, right? So it's not advised
Mm-hmm.
to start somewhere in the middle. Yeah. So the first were these Cult Live products, which was their just pre-recorded episodes. And then came their, so they needed to involve the trainers also. The Cult Live was a very I
Right.
mean, though it was reaching out to a lot of people. I mean, it's the biggest when it comes to customer base. It's reached out to too many people. There, I think they've reached lakh people and all in a day. That was the record, and they got
Oh,
a huge customer
okay.
base. They got a lot of people installing their app because of this Cult Live project. And also they did a lot of advertisements and all by getting celebrity trainers. Like they got John D. Rhodes, AB de
Mm-hmm.
Villiers, and some
Mm-hmm.
Bollywood stars and all, just to get a lot of people hooked onto this, know about, okay, something like this
Right,
is
right, right,
happening,
right.
and you're getting it for free. So let's do a master class. Apart from the normal classes, you have this master class. But then also, very few people get to shoot, right? From last month, what they
Mm-hmm.
did, this one-on-one PT, which is going on, they added another subsidiary and they added small group training. So
I
small
see.
group
Oh,
training will
okay.
be one trainer like me from home, and then there'll be 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of one-on-one, there'll be 10 people. And then these packs, these subscriptions will be much lesser. The
Right,
cost is
right,
going to be
right.
much lesser. Yeah, so that was
Yeah,
the
that's a
thing.
smart business idea actually. Like one-on-one is not like even if it is expensive, I think the revenue will like they'll never be able to hit the same revenue as they can with group subscriptions. So I think
They
it's a
won't
very
be,
nice
yeah,
idea.
exactly. Yeah, they won't be able to gather so many people.
How difficult is it for you as a trainer to do it on Zoom call? Like you have to monitor 10 people now, and you're like
Huh.
looking at everyone in small dabbas.
The movements, yeah, what really helped us in focusing on people, even though like we have to see in small dabbas, was the movements are pretty light. Okay, probably we'll give them 15 push-ups, 20 squats, 10 burpees. So
Mm-hmm.
movements are pretty simple, right? So people will get off at once, and then we can monitor them easily. The quality team at Cult, when it comes to all these things, works very
Mm-hmm.
rigorously. Of course, with the trainers, with the front end people, they work very rigorously, and then make sure they'll create one product which is scalable, which is doable. It's not like something
Mm-hmm. It's surprising how
too
fast they
futuristic.
manage to scale and quickly find out like new ideas and implement them.
Absolutely, bro. Like there are companies, okay, there are companies like Healthify Me and MyFitnessPal and all who have always been into a digital field only. But Cult was not that.
Mm-hmm.
Cult was obviously
Right.
was hardcore gyms. Yeah, but when it comes, for those company, it was never a challenge. They never, in fact, they built on this situation, on this COVID situation and all. There were so many cult trainers after the compensation was slashed off. They left cult, and because of course they have to make their ends meet, they went to all these
Correct.
pre-existing digital companies, digital fitness
Platforms.
companies, platforms. Exactly. So for them, it was not, when it comes to product, it wasn't so much that they have to build. But for cult, like I said, their engineering team is pretty smart. So they happen
Yeah.
to make something scalable, something doable. People will get there
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's really cool. And one thing very interesting that I just noticed is the fact that this pandemic, like the end of this pandemic, is nowhere in sight, makes this business work. Like if people thought that this is going to end in 3 months from now, probably most people will not even buy a subscription.
Not even buy,
So
exactly. They won't buy.
yeah, it's just that the length of this pandemic is itself changing the way the business works. Like initially,
Exactly.
everyone thought that it's going to end in 2 or 3 months, so probably they didn't even invest in making something like this. But now they see that it's not going to end. So yeah,
It should click.
right.
Put in a lot of effort into this.
Yeah, I think you would be a very nice like you would be perfect for developing an app because you have fitness experience and you have web development experience. I think that niche is very like I doubt there will be more than like say 1,000 people in this niche. There are going to be very few people.
Yeah, Desh, that's what keeping these two things in mind and learning more about. So I know. So again, when it comes to design, also UI is one thing which is easy to learn, but it's again just the tip of the iceberg. UX is the whole thing. Okay, like from pages to pages, from slides to slides, how it's gonna go. So yeah, then and a website development is okay, fine. A UI can manage. You don't, or a very extensive web application might need UX, but a website or company website, even though it's 15, 20 pages website, won't need. So I'm learning more about UX, and hopefully I would. And UI is of course something that I will develop over time with my freelancing career, and fitness is always there. So I'm seeing. So I have thought of something on the same lines of launching a product, which is not just an app, just or tells you, which is a mixture of an application and something that keeps you moving. Also, like I want to get a physical product also. So what I'm thinking of is making an integration of uh, workout video or pre-recorded videos and boxing punching bag. So that's my
Oh,
that's my
I
idea. I
see.
don't know if in US there's a US company in fact who is already doing this. It's called Fight Camp. If you get time, you can check that out. But it's not been
Yeah,
implemented anywhere
definitely.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fight Camp has been doing that, and I've been thinking of something on the same lines, but not just at home, but also in office spaces and uh, community gyms or what do you say, apartment gyms. Anywhere it can be set up. You just need a TV and you need a fitness bag. So it's nice. The combination of this is nice. I need to try this out. I
Yeah.
need to invest more on this. Yeah. So that's it.
And when you say that you're freelancing, how do you find clients?
Have you heard of Upwork?
Oh yeah, I've heard of Upwork. So Upwork is what you're using right now.
Yeah, Upwork. There are other places also, but industry standard, the best is Upwork. So and through
I
Upwork,
see.
when I completed few projects, so I've worked around 12 projects now in these three,
Mm-hmm.
three, three, 4 months of freelancing. I worked around 12 projects. Some of them were very small, like 2-3 days. The client will already have a design, and I just need to implement it. I just need to make a webflow site for them. So that doesn't take time, and some of them I have to design from the scratch, start from the information architecture and all of that. So that takes time, and so altogether 10 to 12 projects. So when I started giving them online, so when I started showcasing my stuff on Twitter, and Twitter is like a heavy medium, right, when it comes to all these things, and on LinkedIn, of course, on just showcasing about every project and all. So the other people, all my acquaintance or my other few people who know me, or they just want to promote me or just have some goodwill for me, they've also been kind enough, and I've got some 2-3 projects from outside also. So it's either Upwork or now I can see it picking up from outside of Upwork as well.
I see. That's awesome, Ritwik. I think this was a great talk, and all the best for you. I think you work really hard, and I sincerely hope you achieve whatever you're setting out for. Step by step, seriously, brother.
Step by step, ferociously.
Yeah.
That was lovely, man. Conversation after so long, where
Yeah,
I didn't
I
talk to
really, really
I
enjoyed
didn't
talking to
I
you.
no, this is damn nice. I think you should get more people who just have things to tell. I have things not to tell also. They'll come on the podcast and they'll just spurt out because I don't know now that I'm thinking that I've spoken of so much about these 2 3 years, because all this entire 2 3 years I hadn't spoken about all this to anybody, and it was just all in me.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've just spoken it out, and that's damn fast. That's damn quick. I really like this
Yeah, it
process.
feels good. And your story is really nice. I really enjoyed listening to everything. So I think I had fun.
Thank you, Adi.